last game, you guys basically just survived an encounter with an elemental in the storm of the Kraken Tide Maelstrom. It was a relative of a water weird, but in this case, because of the corrupting power of the Maelstrom itself, this one appeared as a giant kraken creature. Sort of like an elemental mimic of the patron, I guess you could say, of the storm itself. The the ship came under assault by tentacles, watery tentacles. They were defeated, and the ship managed to survive relatively unscathed. There is some work going on at the moment. However, after the combat was over, they retired to the captain's ready room. After showing the captain the strange compass that Azalea, well, originally Ileana, then Azalea, had, which appears to have belonged to Azalea and Ileana's father. Upon inspection, it appears like it was identified as a Loadways compass, which is a compass specifically designed and tied to the Kraken Tide Maelstrom, which sailors and captains, etc., use to navigate the Maelstrom, because they have the magic basically distorts direction. It also obscures the night sky, so people can't use the stars to navigate by. So these magical compasses are created using elemental materia from the Maelstrom itself, and these compasses always point dead center to the Maelstrom. So that's the fixed point for these compasses. However, this one seemed to only point to blood relatives of the the King of Storms, the Kraken-blooded Azalea's father himself, and any kin. So any relatives, any blood relatives. Now, upon investigating this, they found that instead of it containing a portion of elemental arcane materia, it actually contained a soul coin, a blood piece, a bargaining chip for the Hells itself, thus tying it to those who are directly related to or connected to, in some way, shape, or form, Azalea's father. The question is, something like that wouldn't have been placed in there by, at least this is the theory, wouldn't have been placed in this compass by the person whose coin it is, because those coins are bargaining chips. Yes, the flags are red. The flags are only red, it seems. So there are a few theories going around as to who put the coin in the compass. The compass indeed did belong to her father, and technically so does the coin, but it wasn't found in Azalea's person. It was actually found in the possession of Ileana, who is Azalea's half-sister. So it was at that point that There were some questionable responses from both the ship's doctor slash carpenter and the captain regarding the presence of the compass on his ship. So when we last left off, Eileithyia and Charlotte had excused themselves and departed to places unknown on the ship to, well, I believe stops by having a discussion. So we're going to pick it up from there, and let's kick on some traveling music since you are all aboard the ship. So let's put on some creakiness and get some sound going for the audience. My friends outside there. Make sure you guys can hear it. Make sure it's not too loud. It looks like it's kind of midway on my my sound mixer, and the two of you should be able to hear it. Correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. Take it away, Charlotte and Eileithyia. Remember, at this point, once the Kraken Weird, as I had called it, was defeated, the seas in the area that you are in became relatively calmer. Which is to say, it went from 25-foot swells down to about 5 to 10-foot swells. So the ship is still rocking, but not nearly as bad, and is at half sail at present, while repairs are being effected on the ship. So where are you going within the ship? Where would you like to do this?
Yeah, just somewhere quiet, somewhere secluded. Maybe like, I don't know if there's like room, like quote unquote rooms on the ship or anything like that.
There are.
That would be ideal.
I can place you in a room together. Let's see where. The best place to do it would probably be in an area. It might be best to do it in the hold, the main hold. Because there's enough room. If she's too confined, it might be problematic. Since you saw what happened.
Yeah.
So I would say I wouldn't even go into the bilges, because then somebody's getting hurt. Plus it's nasty. The bilges would be the quietest, but I'm going to stick the two of you down in the hold. Got it. You should be able to see each other, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Should we stay in the RP section for now? Yeah, let's stay in the RP section for now.
Yeah.
There's nothing to see here yet, but the two of you have the ability to see each other in the setting that you're in. So take it away.
I wanted to talk to you, Eileithyia, a little bit about. I noticed in that last conversation we just had there, kind of spaced out a little bit, and I wanted to find somewhere private where prying eyes and ears can't listen to us. I mean, I guess first and foremost, just yeah, you kind of like spaced out a little bit. Did you like what happened there when Dr. Grimes pulled out the what is it called again? The soul coin. I noticed you kind of spaced out a wee bit. Did it trigger anything in you?
I think I might have gotten a memory back or something back, but a soul coin.
Okay. Anything you want to share, or?
It was a conversation I had with Lee, but I don't remember it happening. It's something about my cousin's soul coin, I think, and having to make my own bargain to get his.
Because I remember when we were back at Stormsgate, Lee told us that you were looking for your cousin's soul coin, or you had lost it, or something like that, right?
I think I got it at some point and then I lost it again. You can see Ellie is looking incredibly frustrated and she'll start kind of pacing the room, like hands on her head, like trying really hard to like see if she can remember again. I don't know, Charlotte. I'm very frustrated right now and I don't know what's going on. And I feel like everyone in this party knows what they're chasing and I feel like I'm chasing shadows and I don't know what to do.
I understand. I'm sorry you're going through this. I can imagine how frustrating it might be, but believe me, you know, I think I speak for all the girls and Casper when I say that we want to help you. And well, I know I really do. That's why I'm here right now. So, look, if I can help you in any way, and I've got a little bit of a plan if you want to play ball with that. But yeah, I know you don't know much about me, so I feel like it's a bit, it's a bit rich of me to kind of ask you to like open up and stuff like that. So if you want, I can just give you a very quick overview of what my story is, I guess.
Sure.
Okay.
You don't have to if you don't want to.
No, everyone else
Okay.
knows. I mean, minus Casper because he's new, but.
Do you want to get Casper in so he can hear as well?
No, I don't actually.
Right. I'm not sure if I trust him yet, you know.
Right.
Yeah,
yes,
I will throw him overboard, you know.
I don't doubt that. Our first meeting was a little bit sketch, but I have good faith that he'll be just fine. But okay, where do I even start? So, well, as you can see, I'm an elf, but I grew up in a very human world, to say. I grew up in Imbar with my mother and basically my stepfather, who is a human. And for a long while, they kind of kept who I really was and a lot about myself and my heritage away from me. And it wasn't until later in life when I had a friend help me, Sebastian. Now, you've probably heard his name come up in certain situations. He was the one that kind of unearthed who I was and told me my real second name. And, I didn't get all the answers from Sebastian, but he was the one that set me down this path. Eventually, he took me to the Feywild and I started training as a blade singer and then trying to learn magic, but they could only teach me so much. So his suggestion was that I go to Strixhaven and I learned there. So that's how I met most of everyone, especially, obviously, Ozelia and Lady. And since then, I've just been trying to, find my actual father. I don't know where he's at or what he's doing or anything like that, but I guess that's my mission, to find my father and just to understand my own birthright. Yeah, I mean, if you've got questions, you can ask away, but I don't want to bore you. But that's kind of the gist of things with me. I've had certain things come up, certain things I found out about my father. He used to be a blade singer himself. He used to work at the Arcanist Guild at Imbar. Apparently a really powerful mage. But I don't know much after that. The sword and my grimoire and my wand as well, I think, were all previously his. So that's nice. But for the most part, I've just been trying to help my friends and follow their path for now. obviously Ozelia and Ileana wanted to find their father, so that's why we're here. And well, Lady's story has been a bit more about running away and protecting her, as to actually going and finding something, you know. So that's where I'm at. But yeah, if you've got any questions, let me know. I'm pretty open book, no pun intended. But I know you got those potions from Bob back on the Isle of Tyrants. I'm guessing you haven't taken any of those yet?
No, I was waiting for like a moment where we weren't in a tavern or in a room near each other where I could possibly, break in and murder all of you. I was just waiting.
That seems sensible, to be honest. And as you can probably imagine, that's another reason why I've brought you down here. There's a good wee bit of space. I had an idea. Now, I've only just recently learned the spell. It's called Detect Thoughts. And I didn't really want you to be alone when you take this potion and see whatever you see. So my hope is that if I can channel this magic and you accept it, it will feel a bit intrusive, but it's just me. I promise I'm here to help. I can maybe see or feel or just perceive what you're experiencing yourself, so you're not alone, is basically my hope anyway. I cannot be entirely sure, but that's what I hope will happen. How does that make you feel?
We can try. Do you think we need help in case I lose my mind again and attack? Do we need someone strong?
Maybe. Yes, that's a good precaution. And another one I was going to put in place was I can cast an alarm spell around us. So if you start moving and I don't perceive it in actual reality, or we both start moving, I should at least have an alarm trigger that would help me in that situation. But yes, maybe some muscle would be good. Maybe
Right.
I was thinking first mate, what was their name again? Sorry. Hagar, the dwarf. You've probably seen him when we first joined.
Right, but do we trust the people on the ship?
Not really. It's kind of a risk we've got to take. I mean, I trust myself, but I'm just one person at the end of the day, and I might not be able to do what I can. What were you thinking? Were you thinking one of the other girls or Casper or?
Well, I was thinking if we need someone in the room, I could ask Lee.
Lee. That would make sense because she knows.
Right, she probably knows more about me than me.
Okay. All right, I'll go and nip and get Lee.
I can also get Lee and just, tell her in and you can do your prep your alarm.
Yes, we can do that. Yes, because it'll take me about 10 minutes or so. Okay.
All right.
You go and do that, and I'll meet you back here.
Okay, I'll grab Lee.
All right.
I will go and find Lee.
Alrighty. Lee is currently in her cabin, which is actually just down the hall from where you guys are.
Cool. I swing the door open. I don't knock. Lee.
Am I that kind of a person? Sure, I am that kind of a person.
Oh,
The
no.
gods.
She is in the process of getting changed and quickly reacts to your intrusion. She gives like a little kind of a meep noise. and turns
Lee.
turns to face you because her back was kind of towards you, which means her scars on her back were visible. So you know she doesn't have a problem being nude, but the scars are a bit of a point of contention. So she turns to face you. Eileithyia,
Sup?
maybe try knocking the next time, please.
Well, you know, we're all women here, and then there's Casper. Please get dressed.
Yeah,
And
I was trying.
All right, please hurry. I need to talk to you about something.
What?
Don't worry about it. Just get dressed, please.
You're telling me you need to talk to me, and you're not willing to tell me what it is. Of course I'm going to worry. It's you.
All right, it has something to do with Charlotte and potions that might bring memories back, and I need someone to watch over me while I trip balls so I don't murder Charlotte.
Well, I'm going to assume this is for a good reason.
Not hope so.
Okay. Let me get dressed and I'll be right. Where are you doing this, by the way?
I'll wait for you at the door. I close the door and I just stand guard.
Okay. A couple of crew members go walking by. You sentinel them. So it takes her like a couple minutes, and she opens the door, and she's still kind of adjusting things as she steps out into the hallway beside you. Lead on.
All right. I'll gently take her arm and lead her towards where we are.
Okay. Which is literally down the hall. Her cabin is actually in the aft section of the hold. So, yeah, it doesn't take long to find her. Well, to get back to Charlotte, rather. Well, looks like we're all here. What is the plan?
Right. Do you have
Charlotte.
anything ready?
Hi.
Oh.
Hello, Lee. Hello.
Are you like
gonna...
strong, Lee? Are you like, can you hold me down if needed? Do you have like a spell that can hold me down? That happened to me once before, so.
Well, you know that I happen to be quite charming, being what I am, but you are also an elf and an ex-guardian of the gate. So, not likely that I'm going to be able to use my supernatural feminine charms against a adamantine warden. But perhaps, I mean, I'm not physically weak, so.
Cool.
Well, yeah, I mean, while Eileithyia went and got you, I set up an alarm spell around us. Hopefully, if things do get hairy, that'll at least trigger, and I can help you take care of Eileithyia. So at least it'll be 2-on-1 now, rather than just me do it by myself. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. That's why I'm going to do this, Lee. Basically, I'm going to try and be there mentally with Eileithyia when she takes the potion, so that I can at least be there on that side of things. Of course, that's not a infallible process. There might be implications along the way.
Well, at least, are you going to leave that somewhere? And she gestures towards your weapon.
That's probably a good idea.
It's an excellent idea. If you want my help, you're going to have to put away the weapon that could eviscerate me quite easily.
Okay, but what if someone takes it? I don't want someone to take it. Like, at the idea of giving up her weapon, Eileithyia turns into a child. She's like, but I don't want to!
Eileithyia, I would rather risk someone taking it than me taking it in the belly. If you want my help, all precautions must be taken. It doesn't have to leave the room, it just has to leave your reach.
I think my belly agrees as well.
Alright. I'll give it to Lee. And then I'll also take my other weapons and I'll give everything.
She goes like full Mando, just taking all the weapons out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Parts of
I'll
her
have
armor that are a little sharp. Oh, are you wearing your armor as well?
Do I have to take off my armor?
Do you need it?
I don't know.
Let's just say, let's remove, if we have to subdue you safely, let's remove any potential obstacles for us doing just that. I'm not asking you to strip naked, just get rid of the adamantium.
Alright, I'll start taking off my armor. Again,
She
Eileithyia
helped you.
is fully pouting right now.
Lee helps you remove the armor, and she does so in a practiced way as though she's helped you do this before. She's familiar with how your armor goes, you know, sits on your frame. And she collects all of the dangerous bits and places them over off. We're gonna say she puts them. She puts them up here. You guys should see it on the map.
Yeah, I see it.
She puts them up in that section so that it's out of sight, out of reach. Just in case.
Okay, so...
And I have to bring up Liliandra's character.
I'm guessing whatever's on the other side of the stream is not going to be very nice, but I'm going to do my best to make this side as nice as possible. So, what I want you to do, Ellie, is just to lie down on your back and place your head against my thighs, so you're resting in between my legs. And I'm going to just gently place my hands onto the sides of your temple and cast the spell. I don't know if I want to do the spell after you've taken the potion or before. I feel like simultaneously is maybe the play and me maybe casting the spell slightly before you. Don't know if you have any thoughts on that yourself.
You should probably cast it before, I think.
Okay. So, let me just check something. Okay, yeah. She pulls out. So if you do lie down and place your head on her legs, she pulls out a copper piece and she places it kind of like here on your forehead, and then she takes her two hands kind of like this and just places them here. And she says, actually, okay, I'm not going to cast the spell right now, but this is the incantation.
Right.
Familiar yourself with the last words of it,
Right.
and you'll know that when I've cast it, that's the signal for you to take the potion.
Right. Let me just grab the potion real quick. I'll grab my potion.
I promise that whatever happens here, I'll do my best, and you've got my back, because You've had all our backs so far, and that's what we do here. We have each other's backs, and we love each other. We
Right.
love you. Right?
Right.
Let's do this. And she starts up the incantation of the spell.
Okay. Well, the spell goes off. A subtle glow, a flash of light in Charlotte's eyes. And the first thing you detect would be surface thoughts, which, Birla, you will have to supply.
Mhm.
What is the general mood, or what basic thoughts are crossing Lithia's mind?
This is very weird. Charlotte's fingers are weirdly cold. She has very cold fingers. It's like colder than the coin that's on my head. Why is there a coin on my head? It's very confusing. I'm also sitting on her legs. That's a little bit weird. Okay, just calm thoughts. Think about your family that you don't remember. Would Alaria be classified as family? I don't know. Are the girls my family? Casper sure isn't. It just kind of goes like that.
Uh-huh. Nice.
Okay. Charlotte, dictate the next
Okay.
level.
Yeah. She would quickly take those in and then up the level of the spell to press further.
Would that be my cue to?
Well, at
Well,
that point you would
at first, since the spell is taking effect before you drink the potion, how to actually describe this? You're getting the oddest sensation. It's like you're actually walking in, like you're in a great dark expanse. And as you are moving through this darkness, like, you don't get the at first you get the sensation that you're completely blind because everything is black. But as you move, if you could call it moving, you gain the sensation that you are traveling. You start encountering, you realize that your eyes, you can see, but the things that you're actually seeing are like vague shapes, vague humanoid shapes, and they are.
There's fudge in there.
Thank you. And they are without any actual detail, but you can sort of hear voices, but you're getting intonation only, no actual words. And the sound is coming to you as though it is coming through water. With a few exceptions. The bright flash of a fire erupts in front of you, and you can see an image of basically a baked red clay landscape, and you can see off in the distance the image of this demonic creature sitting atop of what looks like a pile of bones and skulls, and two figures in front of it being tormented and tortured. Both figures without faces, mind you. You can tell that they are ash elves just by their general shape and size, and it's as though you are looking through someone else's eyes. You get the rage and the confusion, and you can only assume that that's Eileithyia. You're experiencing this memory. And and it plays out as it did in that first dreamscape that she had, where she went to engage the thing, which taunted her, and she ended up attacking what in her mind you feel like through her interpretation of the event was her mother. So she attacked her mother in this dreamscape. There are other, after that, there are other like flashes of violence that are literally like single frames in an action movie. You hear like a yell, and the sudden noise rushes into your ears, or all of a sudden you're standing on a great wall that looks out over that hellish landscape that you saw, and Eileithyia is talking to someone who you're not sure who that person is, and you kind of get the feeling that neither does Eileithyia at this point. And it becomes kind of like a series of disjointed flashes and images that you're having a hard time keeping a track of. They don't make sense in the context of your connection, and since they're not your memories, there's no connection to anything at all. And what's that?
Does any of the like the environment? I know in the first thing you described with the pile of bones. Previously in the campaign, Charlotte done some research on Lee, where she maybe would have uncovered something to do with the Nine Hells. Does any of that match up from that research? Can I make a check or anything like that?
Yeah, you can give me an Arcana check. You're trying to identify the thing that was on the skulls.
Yeah, I guess. But it's kind of like, if the skulls have any kind of maybe, if they are, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not the right word. Yeah, I don't know if they're like akin to anything that she's read about, or like they're associated with a figure or something like that.
That would be an Arcana check.
Okay.
Really hard to tell.
Can I use my blessing of the moon in this situation to re-roll that? Because I did just roll a natural one.
No.
Yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't work, so.
So I've already used one of them, so I've only got one more. I'll re-roll that. That's an 8 for a 15.
The only thing that you get from that is that it is a bone devil. Affiliation or association? No idea.
Yep. Probably checks out.
Just that it is a bone devil. Then you get some interesting tidbits. You can see an interaction with Leandra. Though Lee is in the original form that you remember her as. The blonde and comely half-elf from Strixhaven. not her current form. And she is interacting with Eileithyia, and you can see that there is a sense of kinship, connection to them. While you're still getting the confusion from Eileithyia regarding this memory, it is intermingled with fondness and emotion. And they appear to be discussing things like kind of an exodus for both of them to leave the both Avernus and Ajarfaz McKean behind. They are discussing those kinds of plans. They appear to be helping each other. You also get kind of flashes of intimacy between the two. And I need you to give me a... Hold on. I need to check something here. Need a Constitution saving throw, please.
If you're within 10 feet of me at a +2.
I am. I will take that. Okay, I rolled decently well. 18.
Okay. You feel as though through this intimate connection, you can feel almost as though a part of you is leaving your body. No, don't be making those those gestures, Sammy. Subconsciously or not.
Yeah, I was not trying to make any gestures there. That was just my mind just doing its own thing. I don't know what that was.
Clearly. And you know, it actually gives you a pause. So, by the way, that saving throw wasn't necessarily for what you were thinking it was. Just putting that out there.
No, I always want to pass a saving throw. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll take the 18.
And then you get the flash. It flashes over to a scene of desperation, lots of confusion, anxiety, and you witness, like, this is a kind of a tough one for you to watch, because as you're experiencing it through the eyes of Eileithyia, you have to understand that it's like you're watching things happen. It's like you get the impression, like it's VR, that you are the one doing these things, but without agency. It's you are literally just a passenger, and you can't do anything to stop what's happening, but you experience the severing of Liliandra's wings at the hands of Eileithyia.
Mm.
You see that happen, which we covered in the previous episode. So you
Sorry,
actually
just-
see that.
just for my benefit and maybe chat's as well, what was the context behind Ellie doing that?
In order to make sure that she is not like just able to be controlled or claimed by another demon lord, she has to literally kind of sever her ties to hell itself, while she herself is still a fiend and can be deported from Sol Boreal back to the Hells. If that happens, it's basically like a death sentence. But by doing this, she cuts any of the influence that they might have over her. In other words, she is, you know, like a celestial can fall. She is a risen demon. Well, a risen devil.
Yeah.
So they kind of like meet in the middle there.
Yeah.
So yes, you actually get to experience that firsthand.
Like the pain of it?
The sound, the smell,
Yeah.
the screams, all of it. Well, no, there's no pain. No pain for you. Like, you're not the one having... You
Yeah, that's
experience Eileithyia doing the cutting.
Yeah.
On the upside, she used her hellspike weapon. And it's razor sharp. There's a kind of like the flash of a razor catching light as it touches the flesh of Lee and just severs the wings cleanly. And they come free, and Lee casts her eyes. Eileithyia casts her eyes to where the wings lay on the ground, and you can see them shrivel as though they aged 2,000 years in a matter of seconds and become petrified on the ground of Avernus. At this point, you feel that it's time for the potion. Because after a while, beyond this final memory, you are just as though you're standing in a room where distant conversations that you cannot understand are happening around you.
Do I get the sense, does Charlotte get the sense that she can't understand them because she doesn't speak the language, or just because, well, I guess for another reason?
It's being filtered through someone whose memory is unclear.
Okay.
No, it's literally just clouded, muted conversations.
Yep.
I believe while you're doing this, you still have presence of mind, don't you?
Should have checked that.
Oh, the other thing is,
do.
that's right. Since you acquiesced to allowing this to happen, you can feel Charlotte basically slip through your mind. And it feels kind of like a chill wind that causes shivers to travel. Like, it gives you that electricity up and down your spine. It's uncomfortable because as Charlotte discovers these memories, ones that you've already experienced, they play out in your head. So as Charlotte is watching them, you're experiencing them as well.
She does. Just read the spell. She will still have full perception.
Mm-hmm. Now, Eileithyia, you're basically awake through all this too, so you're kind of in a semi-waking state because all of these things are kind of playing out in your head, so it's distracting to say the least. It's like somebody forcing you to remember things. And while this is happening, Lee slips in behind you and wraps her arms around you, rests her head on your shoulders. And she just says, "I'm here." I did ask her to help you, so... How do you react to that?
I think she's just gone like stiff as a board. She's like, what in the fuck is happening right now? I did not expect it to be like this. Right.
So
Charlotte.
it's a little confusing to you because, you know, you have no real recollection of any kind of intimacy with her directly, but you definitely feel some kind of a connection to Lee. You have that kind of like that fondness that, while initially shocking, you kind of subconsciously settle into the embrace. And you do feel somewhat comforted. So any saving throws, any wisdom, intelligence, or charisma saving throws that you need to make, you get a +2 to do so. So keep that in mind. Charlotte, you're at this point. What do you do?
I think she would still have obviously her hands on the side of Ellie's head, and while these kind of visions are playing out, she's obviously someone that hasn't herself really experienced anything like that. So I imagine she's very taken aback and just kind of maybe trembling. She's maybe even crying to an extent. And as she speaks the next words, you can feel the trepidation in her voice as it just cracks a little bit. Right, I think it's time for you to take the potion now.
Right, are you sure? Can stop now.
I'm very sure.
Right.
You can do
Take
this.
the potion.
Okay. So the potion has a distillate of the lantern weed. It is kind of a it is made from the actual fruit that you collect. So the lantern weed kind of has a heat to it, like a spiciness. As in, like, you know, the one chip challenge, just not 2 million on the Scoville scale.
I was gonna say foreshadowing.
Yeah, foreshadowing. But it has a kind of almost like it has like the thickness of like mango juice. So it's fairly viscous. But it has kind of a tart and sweet taste like a dragon fruit. With that kind of back end heat as it goes down. Like the heat kind of rises. It doesn't hit your mouth immediately. It kind of, you can feel it. And it's almost to the point where you're not sure if it's actually like spiciness or it's actually heat, considering these things they're fairly elemental in their magic. And they grew in volcanic flats, as you remember having to collect them. All in all, as the potions go, it's not unpleasant. Charlotte, are you actually in physical contact with Eileithyia?
Yep, her fingers are like this.
You can actually feel the surface temperature of her skin rise. Especially with you being a frost stone. And your general like body temperature being just a little, like a few degrees cooler than most other people. Lee doesn't seem to make any kind of a response, but instinctively, Eileithyia, your eyes close, and
I think just before she like closes her eyes, she'll just whisper to Lee and say, "Please protect her." That's it.
you have my word. Be safe. And you can feel, as you're saying that, the words that you're speaking seem to disconnect from you. Like it's almost as if you're no longer actually saying them. And the sound kind of fades off into the distance. And you get the sensation of falling. To the point where, like, your body actually instinctively, you kind of like, you do that, like when you're just falling asleep and you have that sensation of falling and you kind of like leap awake. Eileithyia like kind of corrects herself, and it's not to the point where it disrupts the spell or anything. But you guys feel it, and she rights herself, and you guys are just kind of like, laying there, having the, your little bitty moment, and Eileithyia, you feel nothing at first. You are no longer in connection to the world that you were in. And I'm going to stop sounds.
Uh-oh.
The sounds of the ship fade and disappear. And all of a sudden, faint at first, but now familiar. The acrid scent, brimstone, begins to fill your nostrils. Is it filling your nostrils? Or are you just remembering what it smells like? And you start to hear a bubbling, wet, thick, bubbling noise. Not constant, but here and there, just the bloop, bloop, periodically. But then you can hear what sounds like the movement of water, but slow and heavier, more akin to the sound that you remember with in the magma fields as the lava flowed. Thinner, but more viscous than water. And Charlotte, you by proxy experiencing this as well. then, subtle at first, light starts to enter your eyes, and the world around you begins to slowly move into focus. And in that focus, you start to make out jagged shapes, rock formations that look more like giant bestial teeth than actual stone jutting out from the surface of the baked and cracked clay at your feet. The rusty crimson of old blood and rust. And you're staring across what you know to be the vast and ever stretching battlefield that is Avernus. Although in the distance you can see flying shapes rise and fall from what must be a battle. There is always a battle going on somewhere in Avernus. There is no actual fighting in the area that you're in right now. Yet the source of the viscous fluid movement becomes apparent as you stand at a river crossing, where the ebb and flow in the basin and bed of this river is blood, 100%, as it slowly winds its way from whatever source to whatever destination. There is plenty of blood on the battlefields of Avernus. On this expanse, you can see just across the bridge the tall and handsome shape of a demonically winged person. Very handsome in the face, a face you recognize from fairly recent flashes of memory. Small horns protruding from his red-skinned forehead. And he's dressed impeccably. A fine waistcoat that complements the fiery golden orange of his eyes, like amazingly. He's dressed more like an official at, say, like a money exchanger. He's dressed kind of like a banker. Standing next to him, and just behind him, a bit shorter, is another very handsome winged individual, similarly dressed, but not to the same level of finery as this, what you know is a Cambion. And you don't know how you know this. You know that this person is a Cambion. And the assistant, who has a beautiful gold-rimmed spectacles resting upon his nose, rather effeminate features, but very well built, lean in muscle, but definitely muscular, is an incubus, the counterpart to Liliandra. Standing before, and what I need to know this. Eileithyia, what are the colors of your eyes?
I think one is red, the other one is gray black.
Right. Okay. So standing before the Cambion, and they're currently having in the middle of some kind of a conversation. Is an ash elf, tall, strong, also wearing adamantine plate, dressed in the style of one of the sentinels. It's clearly a sentinel of the gate, and familiar to you. Very familiar to you. And the name crosses your memory, as though it was always there. And that name is Parabear. Make sure I have that right. Arrowbear. Sorry, not Farabear. Arrowbear. Your cousin. And you can see they're in the middle of a conversation, but the Cambion looks up and notices you standing there. Gives a slight sardonic smile, and you can see your cousin turns and he has the black-gray eyes that you share. You share, at least in part, one of. And they are the same color eyes as what now suddenly floods into your head, your mother. Your mother has the same color eyes. So you associated that that's where the eye color came from. The other being kind of an anomaly, you're not sure why that eye is red. None of your other family members have red eyes. Another fact that just sort of comes into your brain. Disjointed, by the way, as though it was something you always knew. So it doesn't feel relevant to the current situation, but it returns to you. And he looks at you and he gives you kind of like a stern look, but you're getting the feeling that it also kind of contains regret and a little bit of shame. But it's only there for an instant and is replaced by a familiar and stoic look that he normally has. And he turns back to the Cambion and nods, and the Cambion just waves his hand, and a portal opens right next to him, and Erever steps through, and it closes.
I start running towards it.
Hold on. Let's see. Can you? Let's let this load. Hopefully. Let me refresh my maps. It's not loading for me. There we are.
Oh shit!
So let's switch
You want
scenes,
Yeah.
shall we?
There we go.
All right.
There we go.
Of course we're going to switch scenes. What's wrong with you? And boom. Zoom out so people can actually see the entirety of this map. At least in most part. Hope you appreciate the little flames that I have going on.
It's fucking
Burning,
sick.
coppery smell of
Great.
blood. What's that?
So cool.
Look at you measuring how far it takes you to get there.
Oh shit.
Yes, if you would like to start running, you can.
Well,
Where is
Charlie,
where
you're
is...
actually not there, obviously. But I
Okay.
had to put a token down so that you could actually see the map,
Yeah, that makes sense.
since you are experiencing this through Lithia's eyes. Okay. All right. Stop right there.
okay.
You start to head across the bridge, and you can see a series of runes. You can see the runes across the natural bridge flare and flash. For just a moment, and a creature leaps from the blood just beneath, stands up upon the bridge itself, and out of wisps of smoke, well, basically the acrid scent of brimstone, so it's kind of a charcoal flash of ash and smoke. These other figures appear. You recognize what these are. The creature that stands between you and the Cambion and his assistant is a is a barbed devil. This thing is literally covered in spines. It looks like a walking bushel of thorns. And it crouches in front of you, and it hisses. And the spines all along its back and sinewy tail rattle, giving it almost like a whispery rattlesnake sound. The creatures that also appear are spined devils. Wings, tridents. They stand perched at the edge of this river of blood, eyeing you with hunger. Ah, dear Eileithyia. Come at last to see your cousin off. Something about the way he says that strikes a chord. You're not sure what he means by that, but when he says it, his eyes kind of flare for a second. Gets a slight smile on his face. His bargain has been made. His fate sealed. But as you know, it is by his own accord and no one else's. It is how bargains are struck. But you already know that. If you're here for a fight, I can accommodate. We've known you've been following for quite some time, and it has been enjoyable up till now, leading you on this chase. Well, what now, child of shame? Where stand you? Shall we make another bargain? I'm sure I could find something that you have to offer. Something yet still.
Quite tempting. How about we make an exchange instead?
Oh, a counter offer. Out of curiosity, I would be willing to hear it. Speak your mind, child.
You give him back.
Give him back. You say this as though I have that choice or option.
You.
This bargain is struck. I am simply an accountant here.
I believe you can fudge some names. Our names are quite similar, aren't they?
I would be willing to make a deal with you.
Mm.
I would be willing to tell you how you might be able to satisfy your cousin's debt. I am an accountant after all. And your cousin is definitely in need of accounting. What say you? Redeem your family's honor, return home a hero.
I don't care about returning home as a hero. I just want my family back.
Yes, well, in order to do that, it's going to take currency. You know what that currency is.
Enlighten me.
He turns towards towards his assistant, who is, as I said, holding some form of clipboard, which appears to be made out of bone, unsurprisingly.
Oh.
And he has a quill in his hands. And he gestures towards his assistant, who readily hands the quill over to the Cambion, who literally throws it at you, but at your feet. And this quill looks like a dagger in the shape of a feather, sticks into the clay at your feet. I believe you can recognize a debtor's quill when you see one.
Do I recognize it? Would I know
Yep.
what it does?
Your mind, while foggy at first, does. It is a magical dagger, and it is a well, first and foremost, Charlotte, you also recognize it. you've seen one before. Long time ago now.
Oh, don't.
Do.
Wait. Was it?
It is a dagger. And when I describe it, Sammy, you'll probably come flooding back. Where the blade is etched and shaped into a feather, but it contains an edge, let me tell you. And the tip of this feather, the feathered edge of this dagger, has a small hole in it that seems to run down the center groove of this dagger into the, well, past the hilt guard, which in this one is quite elaborate and finely wrought in what appears to be mithril, into the handle of the dagger, which looks like in the shape of the quill of a pen, where it is capped in blood forged brass. And you understand that this is how soul coins are made.
So Charlotte would know that this dagger is similar to the one that they found in
Very.
Arcane's dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
That one was called the Toll Collector's Quill.
Yep.
That's what I wrote down anyway.
Yep. It is a debtor's quill. That is what it is referred to. In other words, there are more than one. It is a debtor's quill.
I also have down here that we found a book, black and tanned leather bound with brass, small runnels on it that travel underneath the image of a medallion, which was a reaper.
Yep.
And it's the similar runnels on the quill.
Yep.
That book was in infernal writing.
Yep. You never opened the book, really. Well, you did, but nobody really tried to read it.
I don't think any of us spoke infernal.
Yeah, but it spoke to at least one of you. They are no longer with the party, but it definitely spoke to one of you.
Yeah.
That was through private messages, but yes.
Can I communicate with
You
Ellie in
can't.
any way?
You cannot. Well, I mean, you can. You can try and communicate in the real world, but you have no idea if it's going to. And you're watching a memory, so it isn't something that you can alter.
Okay. Carry on. You bad man.
Sorry, not sorry. What? What say you, Eileithyia Celir-Ashgrove? Do we have a bargain? I guarantee the information that I would give you quite valuable.
Oh, when you make a bargain, you should probably know what the terms are.
You know what the terms are. Your
say them
soul
out loud.
coin belongs to me. Which means I can cash it in whenever I like.
Sounds fair. What do I get in return?
Answers. Something that you've sought for a long time. I will give you questions 3. And if I'm
3
feeling
questions
generous,
for my soul.
Well, a portion of it anyway. There's no point in claiming it all. At least not now. That would ruin any future bargains we might make. And you know us. We live for the bargain.
Right. I'm still confused on how I will get my family back with these stupid questions of yours.
How you get them back is up to you. Thanks, Sammy. But I guarantee that you won't stand a chance without the information that I might provide.
You think very highly of yourself.
Of course I do, but with good reason.
Gosh, I'm so conflicted, you guys.
Wait, what? Wait, I had my headphones out. What was the last thing you said?
She's so
I'm so
conflicted, you
conflicted.
guys.
No,
I
before,
do.
no, I heard that. What did Matt say in character at the end?
I don't remember.
I told her that how she gets her family back is up to her. But he guarantees that she wouldn't be able to do it without the right information.
Honestly, it's such a man thing to say, and I'm like, going to bed. I can do this shit without you. I don't need you, sir.
It is a Cambion, by the way. If anyone is hyper misogynistic, it's a fucking Cambion.
No.
It's but a favor. At some point, I might call on you. Cash in your coin, I might not. I live a very long time, and you are an elf. So do you.
Mm.
Can I? You're gonna have to work me on with this one. But can Charlotte try and like break through the boundaries of the spell in this situation? Like exert herself in such a way that would have negative impacts, but would potentially allow her to read the thoughts of this Cambion.
You're trying to impart your spell onto her? See, that can't work here. It's a memory.
Yeah.
This already happened.
Yeah.
Cambion's not here. None of it is here. You're watching a movie. All you can do is scream ineffectively at the screen.
I'm literally Matthew McConaughey in Interstellar right now.
What say you, Eileithyia? Do we have a bargain? As I said, I guarantee what I have to offer is valid and important.
Well, what's a piece of my soul anyways? Whatever, yes.
Now that is the spirit. I wholeheartedly agree. Of course, I have my own soul coins, but again, I still have an employer. But you know that. And the name Mammon crosses your mind.
Just the face that sounds right there.
That's not good.
When you know you fucked up. It sounds like, ooh.
You know what you must do?
Can I just pick up the dagger thingy?
Yep. And but a drop.
Can I just... I don't know if I can do this, but can I just prick my finger like he asks, and then I just want to throw the dagger at him?
Sure.
It's an aggressive move, but I don't want to like actually start a fight. It's just like he threw it at me, so I'm throwing it right back at him.
No, I get what you're doing.
Okay.
You prick your finger, and as soon as the point of the dagger pierces your skin, it's not like a single drop comes out. You could feel the dagger draw your blood from the wound, like bite and suck out the blood, and you can see the line of blood trickle down into the hole, and it illuminates the runnel as it travels down the length of this feather. So it is the quill part of the feather, and collects in the tip of the pommel that appears to be like a like the tip of a quill pen, and you throw the dagger back, to which the Cambion catches it. Just catches it, snatches it out of midair as though it belonged to him. And without looking at his assistant, reaches down and hands it to him, who then takes it and writes using the base of the dagger on the clipboard. And when he does, you can see a single red, shiny metallic coin slides down, resting in the hands of the incubus, who picks it up, examines it, nods, and hands it to the Cambion, who without looking at his assistant or even the coin, places it into a pouch in his waist. We have a bargain. Ask your first question.
Oh God. Okay. Ah. Just get my backstory up that I know. I want to know. Just everything. Tell me my
I have
entire
your
backstory.
backstory up.
You have my entire backstory.
Yes,
Just
and
for the...
mine has better notes though. I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah, for the people that might be thinking, "Wow, backstory writing. I'm gonna let my DM do that. I'm gonna make a character with amnesia and just not write a backstory and just have your DM go wild." Recommend a little bit. It's kind of fun, but it's also very stressful.
I did double check with you before we went forward.
I know. And I'm having a great time. This is fun to find out your backstory instead of keeping secrets about it.
It's gonna keep coming back.
Yeah, it's gonna. It's
Told
great.
you were getting a lore dump.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. I think the first question she'll ask is just like, "Who's my family?"
Who is your family?
Yes.
You want in general terms? Or are we talking names? Specifics? Why is this something that you don't know?
I want to know who they are, what they did, what happened to them, everything.
So you want the truth of your parents' demise?
Everything.
So be it. Well, your parents went on a quest. Foolishly, looking for something that was far beyond their capabilities to reach. See, your cousin, this isn't the first bargain he's made.
Idiot.
Quite. Well, that being said, his concerned mother was seeking a way out of his initial bargain because the stain was clearly going to mark your family as potential enemies of the wall. And in effect, they were. But they did learn something of interest. And first and foremost, their own bargains is what got them into, well, where they are now. You see, your mother bless her, with Rhea, was trying to save the soul and life of her son, Erover. Oh, come now. You didn't think that his eyes belonged to his father, your beloved uncle, your father's brother? You cannot be that naive, child. No matter. They sought his release, which they nearly succeeded in doing. But what they sought, they failed to achieve, to acquire. But it cost so many lives. So many lives. But they perished in quite spectacular fashion. In fire, as all things should perish. Have you ever smelled burning feathers? It's kind of delicious, actually. But they failed to acquire it. Somehow it disappeared, one of their own, traveling off into obscurity. But in their failure, their bargain, let's just say their coins and debt was cashed in. And they now sit under the watchful eye of Glacia herself. Don't worry, they're very well taken care of. Does that answer your first question?
Sure.
You have 2 more, darling.
Also, you calling me naive? That's just rude. I was a literal child. Children are naive. Don't judge me for that one.
It's not my
It's just-
place to judge.
Well, you just did because you were like, "What are that naive child?" I was a child, so yes, I was naive. Just
Then I wasn't judging. I was speaking the truth, now wasn't I? We both
now you're just being
agree.
rude.
Your second question.
About the second question. Okay.
And you know I am bound to tell the truth. At least as I see it. It is
Sure.
subjective, after all. Is it not?
Just a question for you, Matt. I can't ask about the future, can I?
Can't ask about the future, no.
No,
Well, I mean, you
okay. So I
could, but that
can't.
doesn't mean he'd be able to and or have to answer something like that, because that is always speculation. But there are things in your past that you might not know. Not know to ask, but since this is a memory, you can ask about your parents' bargain or what they were seeking, who the bargain was with, things like that. Cambion might know that.
Okay.
You've also if you didn't want to do an Ellie specific question, you've also just seen the compass have a soul coin in. So if you wanted to find out maybe more about Azalea or Ileana's story, you could maybe go there as well.
This is a memory. She hasn't met any of those people yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
That's why I also wanted to ask about the ship, but that's happening in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good point.
Right.
You know where the ship was headed. You know the ship was heading towards Imbar. That was already determined. That was one of the few things that you would remember. Remember? You were on your way to a great city.
Don't remember, but that's fine. I don't remember a lot. This is what happens when you don't know your backstory.
You do know you were headed to Imbar in real life, which that would have been after this, obviously.
Yeah,
So
so I can't ask about him.
whatever you glean from this could be what sent you that way.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What were my parents seeking, and did my uncle know?
Well, that is 2 questions. Are you sure you want to ask that as your third? What your parents were seeking and what your uncle knew. Well, those 2 very different things. And honestly, I'm being a little generous here in saying that I can only speculate what your uncle knew.
Right. Let's just keep with what my parents were seeking.
Now that is a good question. They were seeking something for the one that they bargained with. And I can tell you what, it isn't who you are thinking. Again, so generous. For what they were seeking. Now that is something. They were seeking a power. A power given form. A form that is made of the formless. Something that could give the one who wields it literally the power of creation itself. No small thing, though it did come in a very small package. Your third question?
It didn't tell me what they were seeking.
I
It told me
you-
some cryptic shit,
I
but
told
what
you
were they
exactly
seeking?
what they were seeking. For me, it has no name. It is not of my will, but yours.
Asshole. All right.
He just laughs when you call him an asshole.
Can I make an Arcana check to see if Charlotte knows what that might be?
Sure. Does Sammy have an idea?
A power given form, a form that is made of the formless, something that can give the one that wields it the literal power of creation itself. No small thing, but it did come in a very small package. I don't think so. It's yes. It's maybe something to do with Sol, because the sun, because it was Sol that originally pierced the darkness and then created the world. So something along those lines would make sense, I think. It's kind of like the antithesis of Night Spa.
You want to make the roll, or are you going to make the
I'll-
assumption?
I'll make the roll. Hey! Okay, I know that's not going to be high enough, so I'm gonna cash in my last blessing of the moon. Let me check that off, and then I've done it. And I'll roll again. Come on.
Believe in you.
It's better, but it's still not as good. It's still not what I needed. That would be. Oh, I tell you what I'm gonna do as well. I'm gonna add inspiration, which is D6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking rolled a 1 on the T6.
No.
So that's a 17 total.
Nope.
Could've been a 20.
You have your out of game assumptions. It's clearly a riddle. It's meant to be cryptic, but you can tell it does satisfy the literary part of the question.
Where's my hell lawyer when I need him?
Jordan!
The incubus raises his hand. I happen to be a hell lawyer. Would you like to make a bargain? No, I'm just kidding. Okay.
I need my hell lawyer, Jordan.
Actually, that's Glacia's domain.
All right. Yes, Dalton, please help me. All right, let me channel my inner Dalton and ask the last question. I don't know what to ask though. Or just ask for the fucking name. Feels like a waste of a question.
The name? Remember, you could ask where they were seeking it, or where they were told they could find it. You clearly, from that, you definitely ascertain that that was part of the bargain.
Mm-hmm.
That if they got it, their debt would be paid.
Mm-hmm.
You can ask who the bargain was with.
Right. I want to know who the bargain was made with or where. I have to find it. I have to know both if I want to do that. I want to complete that bargain. So what's more important?
Well, so technically, I guess first of all, just to get this straight, your cousin got himself in some shit, and then your mother and father tried to get
Half
him out.
brother.
Yes, half brother. Your cousin, yeah, and then your mother and father tried to go and help him, but they also got in shit. So now they're both both sets of parties are in shit.
Yes.
But if you found your mother and father, they would at least know how to then help your cousin. So if you think about it like that, maybe if you ask questions to do with your mother and father, then you can kind of trace back from there.
From my memories, wouldn't I know that my parents are deceased? So how would I find them?
Doesn't sound like they're
They'd
deceased.
be in Avernus. Oh my gosh, we're going to hell, you guys!
Well. So you heard him say in the first question, they perished in the fire. They now sit under the watchful eye of Glacier. I know out of game what that means. But
Good for you, Sammy. You
No, I
are
don't
the
wanna
big brain.
I don't want to just tell you and give you that meta knowledge.
I know.
So it's so hard because Charlotte can't talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But at least you will be privy to this information. You will be able to have a conversation after she comes out of it.
Yeah. Um. Where do I find this cryptic item you keep talking about?
This cryptic item. I can't tell you where you can find it, but I can tell you where they were told it existed. It was in a place on your world. On the surface, as a matter of fact. A place called Sunholt. Populated by the little owl folk in a country called Allenbray, if I am not mistaken.
Oh shit.
It was under the watchful eye of a great healer. An owlin by the name of...
Not the good.
1 second. Bring it up, because I'm going to give you the spelling of it.
This was a law drop session.
Told you it would be.
Do I have anything else I can throw at this man?
Her name was Irilla Pennyfeather. And I'm gonna message you.
Irilla Pennyfeather.
That's how it's spelled.
That must be lady's second name. Yeah, we didn't know that.
Now, our bargain is set. Our terms agreed and met. Someday I will call on you, Eileithyia. Eileithyia, House Ashgrove. Is there any message you would have me give to your parents?
Tell them I'll comfort them. That I will make sure you suffer greatly.
The incubus kind of clears his throat. Master, I would remind you that there are fees for any kind of courier service in between the hells. Oh, yes. I would happily deliver that message for you, Eileithyia, for a price. But not today.
Back down now.
Not today. Perhaps another day. I've had enough dealings and bargains. And I have things to deliver to my master. So if you'll excuse me, I must depart. We'll be in touch. But since I know you must be frustrated, very flustered, and in
Rage
need
sounds
of
more like it.
release, I leave you in the capable hands of my associates. Ta-ta for now. And he and the incubus vanish in puffs of smoke. You hear a voice from behind you. Eileithyia! What have you done? A familiar voice of Liliandra.
Lee?
She comes running up to you. Her wings still attached at this point.
Oh.
What have you done?
Liliandra. I got answers.
But at what cost? Your life now belongs to him. And she gestures to where the space, the space where the Cambion and his associate stood.
Lee, what was my life really worth, honestly? I had nothing, I had no one. Now I at least have some answers. I have a path.
You have me. You know I was going to help you. We had our own bargain.
Own bargain?
It starts to kind of come back, and she has kind of there's like a kind of a flash in Lee's eyes. Yes. We were going to escape together. We were going to find answers, you and I. But I hope you've gotten your answers. Malorn is not a forgiving debtor.
Right. Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
I'm posing this in there for you too. So you have spelling.
Thank you. I almost had it right.
Mhm.
You know that that's not his true name, but the
Mhm.
name by which he introduces himself.
Did I know his true name?
No.
No. Oh, I thought I'd ask.
Yeah, that's tantamount to slavery for any kind of demon, devil. You have power over a demon or devil if you know their true name. Lee is, you can see obviously Lee is in the visage that you know, Sammy, that you remember. Lee has the look, a look of concern, and it's the concern of somebody who you are close with. So she has genuine concern, as though the two of you are more than just friends. And you kind of have that, you understand in the moment that is also how you feel, though you yourself kind of feel detached from it. It's familiar, but you're not sure it's the same. Again, you're experiencing this as a past event. You don't know what may have happened between then and now that changed how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
But that is the kind of the gist of that you're getting from the way she's looking at you now. And then you suddenly hear from behind you this rattling noise, same hissing rattle from the barbed devil that was standing on the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how quaint.
It says in the speech of the devils, infernal.
Mm-hmm.
I do apologize for interrupting this intimate moment. But are we going to fight or not?
Well, I think me and Liliandra are. You can back off.
Kill them.
Now we come to initiative.
Oh no!
You did ask for a combat. Here it goes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I still have the conversation. It would be nice if there was a fight.
That might be me.
Yep.
I didn't do anything.
Didn't have to.
That might have been me.
So here we go.
Oh
Here
shit!
we go.
Oh my god! And I haven't even healed from our last battle, you guys.
Oh, you're fully healed.
Okay.
This is a memory. You're fully healed.
Oh, do I also have all my spell slots?
Sure. I'm not gonna make you retro this.
I'll just write down what I have.
Yeah. So not to worry.
This is just Ellie and Lee?
Yep. You are correct, sir.
Wow, everyone is like rolling really well. I also rolled a 14.
Let's see. You got a 14?
I got a 14.
All right. The barbed devil hisses and rattles. And it's going to move. Actually, doesn't have a range. It actually gathers fire in its hands. One, like it kind of gathers it like in its hands like this, and just kind of like it's building a snowball of fire, and then it separates into two. And it hurls both at you.
Cool.
Let's see what happens.
Oh, my AC is 10 right now, so I don't think
Your
you
AC
can
is
miss
with your
me.
armor.
Oh, okay, cool. I was
This
like,
is Dream Eileithyia.
well, I was just okay. Right.
And let's see. So does a 22 hit you in your armor?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So it does 9 fire damage.
Okay, let me just check. I'm not resistant or anything. I don't think I am.
And a natural 20. No, your
What is it?
silvery barbs does not work here.
Must have silvery barbs PTSD as well.
What's that?
I might give you PTSD from my spell. It's a stupid spell. I asked you, to be fair, at the start of this campaign, I was like, do you want to ban this spell? And you were like, no. So
It's fine.
that's on you.
That's fine.
What was I going to say? Fuck. I don't know what it was now.
That's 26 additional fire damage from the second one as it splashes into your face.
I was asking, do you not get some resistance from being an ash elf? What does that give you? I thought or did you say that wasn't a thing?
This is magical sleep.
Ash elves get
Blind sight.
blind sight.
That's it. Yeah.
So blind sight is pretty bop too.
Yeah.
So that's what it does. Eileithyia.
Okay. She'll turn to Lee and just go, Lee, do you have like healing capabilities or anything?
She nods.
Cool. Then I'm just gonna fight this thing. If you could keep me running, that would be really great. I'll run up to the. Do I want to do that? Do I want to do that?
You got any music for this map?
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do some music.
Is there anything fun I can do?
This is kind of a
first?
boss fighty thing.
Oh, I do have a thing. I'm a paladin.
Yes, you
I do
yourself have healing.
things. I also have healing, but like I can also hit things. And I prefer to hit things over healing myself. I would like to use my I think it's a bonus action. I can't find my spells. I'm so stressed right now, you guys. Nope. Where the frick is it? I'm annoyed that I can't find it. I'm going to wait, what is it? Doesn't say if it's a bonus action or not. This is stressing me out. I will whatever I need. I'll cast Vow of Enmity on it.
Yeah, it is
Okay.
a bit.
It's a bonus action, right? Okay, I had
Yeah.
And that does?
Okay. It lets me have advantage on all my attacks against it.
Nice. So that is vowed.
Yeah.
Come
And
on,
then
come on, let's hear it. Give me a vow.
oh gods, I don't know. I can't think right now. Okay, Matt, this is
You're doing
stressful.
well. You're doing well.
No, I don't think I am. I don't know.
I think you are. Oh, we got a raid.
Nice. Visenia! Visenia Designs, you're just in time. We just started a dream combat
Just yeah.
with Eileithyia. We did a nice giant lore dump, and it's a doozy. So she's now fighting in her dreams, in her sleep.
Oh, I think because I have. Yes, yes. Okay. I don't know. Never mind. My brain is head empty, no thoughts. I'm just going to use my actions to attack it.
All right, well, move up so you can attack.
Okay. I know how combat works. It's fine. I rolled a natural 14 for a 22 to hit.
Let's get it.
I'm pretty sure that hits it.
Okay, then I'll just roll my damage. Okay, that's double threes. That's 6 plus 5 is 11 points of
Boom.
damage.
Quick
Okay.
maths.
And then I will hit again.
Don't forget, you
second-
have the Hellspite weapon too.
Oh, yeah, you're smart. I'm not. I successfully hit a fiend with this weapon. I must immediately make a wisdom saving throw.
What was that?
That
was
nothing,
not
don't worry.
English.
It also wasn't Dutch, so what was it? No one will ever know.
I don't know. It sounded like the conversations that happened off in the distance of your dream world.
It's
Either that,
undercommon.
you're on the set of a Charlie Brown cartoon. Let me look at Hellspite. So the DC
Is 12.
What is your spell DC? Is it higher?
No, it's 12.
Uh?
Oh no, my spell
That
DC
should
is
be-
a 13
I
actually.
think. Yep. I was
Yeah.
gonna-
It's
So
a
yes.
12.
So she's a 13. Let's see. See what it can do. Oh shit. It is frightened of you. You can see you strike it, you carve across its chest. The wound burns, hisses, and you can hear it also makes some kind of weird whispering noise as it does that. And the barbed devil's eyes go wide as you see fear settle in its eyes. What let's see. What did you do for damage on that first strike?
11.
All right. Bring that up. Condition. Let's see. Okay.
Okay, I will whack him again.
Go for it.
Oh, that was so bad. I rolled a natural 1 and a 4. With 12 to hit.
That would be a no.
Why? I even grabbed my Nezrin dice.
That's
So I
you
was
letting
like,
you down.
they've never failed me. Nezrin is failing me right now. It's because it's so furnished. She's having flashbacks. She's having war flashbacks. All right. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna stay. I'm just gonna yell at Lee and say, "It's frightened right now. Do we want to leave? Do we want to stay? We're gonna fight this thing. Talk to me." That's it.
Okay. It's the spined devil's turn. They fly
Motherfucker.
around you.
Oh.
They are not frightened. So 3 of them are actually going to be attacking you.
Uh.
Okay, so they are attacking with their forks and their fangs. Forks and fangs.
Fucking fangs.
So they begin attacking you like, you know, some kind of gladiatorial combat with they're basically tridents. They're war forks. And let's see, first one. Oh Jesus Christ. That is another critical.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
However, it only does a total of 5 piercing.
Okay. Nope, did that the wrong way around.
Next one. 10 does not hit you.
Nope.
7 does not hit you, and a natural 1 does not hit you. Now for their bites.
Okay.
Does an 18 hit you?
It's a beats it.
So your AC is an 18?
My AC is 18.
Gotcha. So that does 3 piercing. 3 piercing.
Yeah.
I rolled another natural 20.
no, you
Cool.
didn't.
I did.
Look, I'll just die.
For 12 slashing. I know that's actually
Okay.
slashing damage. You can see it on like, you guys can't see it in the thing, but they can see it at home.
Yeah.
It's legit.
I
That
believe
was
you.
1, 2 more bites.
Okay.
21 for another 5 slashing,
Okay.
and 17 will miss.
Yes.
Like, holy shit. Okay, the digital dice are in my favor as they hiss and rattle and flap their barbed wings around you. Now it's Lee's turn.
Eileithyia looks rough.
Oh, shit.
Currently has 8 hit points.
No way.
He does.
Math.
It's okay. Come on. This is a dream. We know she survives somehow. Right? Okay.
We're about to find out.
So, Lee turns. She rushes up to you, spins you around, puts both of her hands on either side of your cheeks, leans in, and gives you a very passionate kiss. Yes. And heals you for 28 points of damage. As you see some of her own life kind of drain. And as a bonus action, she whispers in your ear, and she says, "You can make this up to me later. For now, kill these assholes." And gives you an inspiration die. And draws her own weapon. Actually, in this case, would be claws. Okay. The barbed devil Barb Devil decides, fuck this noise. She's wielding a Hellspite weapon. Disengages.
I'm letting him leave.
That's why I was pausing. And
I was like, I know I can, but he's scared of
I
me
was
anyway.
waiting for you to be like, Sentinel. Like, just as a reflex.
That would have been so funny.
Doesn't Sentinel ignore disengage?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, it would stop.
Mhm.
So that's
Mhm.
why I was waiting.
I'm letting him leave.
Dives into the blood.
Prick.
And
knows his
begins to
boss.
swim away up the river, leaving just the four spine devils. Eileithyia,
Yeah.
Yamu.
you're up.
I would like to attack the guy that is closest to Liliandra.
Okay. I guess I
And-
would say that's probably this one.
Yes.
Okay.
Do I want to do something before that? Can I do something? Because I don't have advantage anymore. To focus on my spell left. Is there a bonus action thing I can do? I cannot. No, I don't think there's anything worth. No. Okay, I'm just gonna attack.
Okay.
That's 21 to hit.
One definitely hits.
All right, and
Go.
just because I've been hit multiple times, second level smite.
Yeah, you will.
Yes, I will. I will
Fucking
indeed.
go.
I need to grab more dice. I forgot I'm
Uh-oh.
a paladin that can smite. Let me just
felt
grab
like
my
I'm-
dice straight.
I feel like I'm Travis, like hyping up Laura right now. This is the vibes.
1, 2, 3, and they're fiends, right?
Yes.
That is paladin. No paladin shit.
So 4
Alright.
D8 at second
Yeah.
level.
Okay, first let me roll this that I can re-roll. That is 5 plus 5 is 10 points of normal damage, and now I'm just rolling my smite damage.
Plus a saving throw.
4, 8. 8 plus 5
Passes
is
its save.
13. 13 plus 7 is 20 points of radiant damage for my smite.
So a total of 30.
Correct.
It explodes.
Dope.
Literally explodes in gore and black red blood.
Awesome. Great. I will go for the one on my right. Again, closest to Liliandra. Does that make sense? Yeah. And I'm going to whack him again.
Technically, there are two of them that could effectively.
Yeah, they're-
Yeah, but one has to step over a dead body, so I'm gonna pick the other one.
Well, they're flying.
I know, but just for the vibes.
Just saying, they're flying.
16 to hit.
That hits, yep.
Okay, I will.
We'll say you attack this one.
Yeah, I attack that one, definitely, 100%. Do I want to smite again?
Smited.
I will smite again.
Do
Again,
it.
second second level again
Oof.
as I can. That's almost max damage. For my normal damage, it's 4, 5, 6, 7 plus 5 is 12 points of damage. Then I'm gonna roll my smite. That's 8, 10, 15, 21 points of radiant for my smite.
Mm.
The same thing happens to this one. As
Let's
your demonic bone bladed scimitar just cuts right through this thing. It pops like a blood blister.
Dope.
You and Lee are drenched in blood, and Lee, it seems to, a bit of the fiendishness comes out in her as you see she's kind of like reveling in it.
Kill. As I spike the, I imagine I spike that one through the eye. Then I'm gonna go backwards. Bonus action. I attack the one behind me in that moment.
Yeah.
Again, the
That one.
thing that's closest to Liliandra.
Do it.
So yeah, the top one. All right. Please don't fail me now, dice. Oh, I rolled that out of my tray. It's a 6 plus 8 is 14 to hit.
That hits.
Dope. I'm here anyways. Do I want to smite again? Do I want to do bonus action smite again? Sure. I'll use a first level smite this time.
Well, I think you can only smite once, right? It's a bonus action?
No, that's the new rules.
Ah,
That's new rules.
okay. Then smite away. Oh, mighty smiter.
Mighty smite.
That is 16 plus 3, 19 points of radiant damage and 4 points of slashing, I think my weapon does.
Scimitar does slashing.
Yes. 19 plus 4.
You got another one?
Yes, you just fucking Darth Mauled 3 of them.
Yeah. She doesn't know what that means, but she will.
She will. She will. Google Darth Maul. You'll know what I'm talking about. That
Triple
leaves that one left. That spined devil is going to disengage, having seen 3 of its comrades.
Well, Sentinel.
This one's gonna get tricky, so you have to make the attack, right?
Yeah.
Do it.
Otherwise, it can go. Okay, please. My dice. Please, my sweet little children. I love you. Please don't fail me now.
Don't forget, you have inspiration.
Oh, true.
Natural 13 plus
Oh, yeah.
8 is a 21 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. Can I reaction smite?
Yeah.
Okay, I will. First level smite again. Oh, paladins are so cool, you guys.
Yep.
Oh, that wasn't a good smite. Okay. That's 6 points of smite damage and 3 points of slashing.
And that makes its speed 0, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Correct.
Well, it falls into the blood.
Ooh.
So it is now still in the blood, which is out of reach of you. But now that's Lee.
Mhm.
Lee takes flight and pursues the creature that is kind of now floundering in the muck of the bloody river. Mm. flies down. Let's see. Is she gonna do that? She flies down and kind of like hovering above, lifts its face out of the water and stares longingly into its eyes. And I need to make you can see it becomes lax, relaxed, as it just gently rocks in the bloody river. That's what she's doing. You can tell that she just charmed this thing. It seems to be putty in her hands. Barb Devil continues on its quest to run away. Eileithyia, are you going to do anything? It is out of reach of you. And Lee does seem to have things well in hand.
Yeah, I'll just go, Lee, you need me to come down there.
No, dear. I'm just going to have a little snack.
Are you sure?
Quite.
'Cause if I think if I jump down from here, I can just, impale it.
Trust me. This little darling means no one any harm anymore.
All right, have fun. I just sit down. Let Lee have a great time with our new friend.
She then, I'm just gonna, because the Spine Devil is completely charmed and infatuated with Liliandra, she just kind of leans in, kisses the thing on the lips, on its nasty mouth, and you can see that flesh withers and life begins to just vacate this thing's eyes as it goes completely slack. And you can see that Lee begins to heal and replenish some of what she gave you. And she lets it go, and its lifeless body just drifts off, following the flow of the bloody river as it sinks beneath the surface of the blood and disappears. And she, flapping her wings, Liliandra rejoins you up on the bridge and wipes blood away from her mouth. You can see that there is satiation in her eyes. She looks a bit refreshed. But then she looks concerned at you. Let's have a look at you. This will not do. Let's return to camp. I will take care of you. I will mend these wounds, as I always do. But I need to also talk to you about something very important. Something you might not be very comfortable with. But it is something that I need you to do for me. And she kind of like takes your face in her hands so that you're looking directly in her eyes. You must trust me on this. That it is absolutely for the best. And the dream begins to fade. The darkness kind of returns to you, as well as you, Sammy. And you both return to the ship. For the most part, Eileithyia did not Eileithyia didn't thrash much, and you kind of associate that with the fact that Liliandra was basically hugging her, like kind of spooning her. And when your senses kind of return as well, Charlotte, you can see that Eileithyia is in her original form, her fiendish form.
I mean, Lee.
Yeah, Lee. Sorry, Lee is in her fiendish form, sans the wings, obviously.
Yep.
And your faculties return to you, Eileithyia. The sights, sounds, and smells of Avernus fade and are replaced by the creaking of timbers. And then we can stop this. We can do this. And the cool, salty smell of an ocean. And the smooth, cool boards planking of the deck within the hold. And you stand, Liliandra, realizing that you have come out of it and you've returned, releases you kind of suddenly too, like okay, like, and begins to pull away. And she stands up, the world returns, and you look around. You can see Charlotte standing there, and you glance over at Lee, and Lee turns her eyes from you, and she just kind of looks away and down. I hope that helped, but you'll excuse me. I need to go. I need some time to myself.
Great. I'll make sure Ellie's okay, I guess.
And she unceremoniously walks off, and you can see that she kind of like has her hand like by her eyes and disappears into a cabin.
Can I so detect thoughts it also lets you detect the presence of thinking creatures that you can't see within 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
I would just like to obviously switch it from looking inside Ellie's head to that capability. It's blocked by rock, metal, and lead, but not wood.
Okay. The room she went in happens to be made of lead-lined stone, so
You
it's the only room like that on this entire planet. Okay.
It's not for Lee. It's not really for Lee. It's just to try and see if anyone was kind of watching this kind of take place.
Okay. Does it affect multiple creatures, or?
It says you can use this spell to detect the presence of thinking creatures you can't see when you cast a spell or as an action within 30 feet. You can't detect a creature with an intelligence of 3 or lower that doesn't speak any language.
Well, you'll pick up somebody above you. That's it. In the deck above.
Can I detect thoughts? Do they seem to be focused on what we were doing, or is it just like passing general thoughts?
No. It's somebody going through kind of a checklist in their head regarding powder stores.
Okay. She'll gesture out to your hands and just kind of cup them in hers. Well, I mean, as far as I know, I saw all of that, and it was quite a lot. So I'm sorry you had to experience that, but it seems like you got some good information out of it.
Yes, apparently I have a half brother
Yes.
who is
and
also
that-
my cousin.
You don't need to You don't need to be strong in front of me. I already know your strength, Eileithyia. Sometimes you can find strength in vulnerability as well. If you need to
Just
cry,
don't-
you can cry. I'm here.
I don't know how to feel. I didn't know I had. I knew I had a cousin, but I didn't know he was my brother. And now I have parents. And did my dad know? Did my uncle know?
When you say your father and your uncle, their names are suddenly fresh in your mind, like you suddenly remember them. And I won't announce them. That's something that you can choose to share or not. This is your father's name.
It's a weird sentence out of context.
This is your daddy.
It's not the first time I've had my daddy revealed to me in a D&D game.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for that. Thanks for that little caveat at the end.
And this is your uncle.
Cool. Not again.
What?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Not again? I can give you your uncle's name. It was like, not again? Okay.
Worry about it. Tell you later. Gosh, I don't remember what I was saying.
Uncle and father. Did they know?
Yeah.
No, yeah. Then they died. You heard they died. They didn't die, they died. They had a bargain.
I mean, to me, it sounded like they're very much alive, but clearly in a bad situation. Can I make a check to see if Charlotte knows what I know regarding Glacia and Mammon?
You can try. You can certainly try. I can tell you right now, that is a hard difficulty.
I believe in you.
She's gonna cast.
I mean, there is a book you could probably look up. Might have some information in it.
Yeah. She'll cast Enhance ability on herself, and she'll use what's it called? Fox's Cunning, as a little spectral fox climbs across her shoulders and then poofs to little pieces. The hell is that roll? That's pretty high. Second roll. It's even higher, baby. That's a 26, Matthew, and I can only beat that with a nat 20. So be nice to me.
Which one do you want to know about? Two very different subjects. Two
Yes,
very
I
different
think-
sources.
So the Cambrian was related to Mammon, but the parents was Glacia. So I think that's more. I think the latter is more important. So yeah, we'll go with Glacia.
Glacia. Glacia is with a 26. You know that Glacia is the daughter of Asmodeus, who rose to power as punishment for basically figuring out a way to legally launder currency in hell by turning turning lead, using magic to turn lead into gold, then using that gold to mint coins, using the coins to buy what she needed within Hell's confines, to which eventually the magic would wear off and it returns to lead again. And out of a technicality, Glacia, they went to punish Glacia, but Glacia pointed out that by the laws of the 9 hells, legal tender counts by the minting. So at the minting part of it, the coins were indeed gold. So at their minting were legal tender, were used as legal tender. What happened afterward is not covered under Hell's laws. So they couldn't legally punish Glacia. So instead, Asmodeus elevated Glacia's power and put her in charge of the prison level of Hell, which I think is Malbolgia. I'll have to verify that. Let me see.
You're correct, yeah.
It is Malbolgia?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, Glacia is now the Lord of the prison layer of Hell. And based on what you heard in the conversations, that's currently where Eileithyia parents are.
So, some bit of bad news, I guess. From my studies, the Cambion seem to allude to the fact that your parents were under the jurisdiction of the 6th, the Archduke of the 6th layer of Hell, Glacia. So, I'm sure you know what that means. Basically means it's going to be a hard task to, 1, find them, and 2, get them out. But I think the main thing is that they're still alive and that there's still hope. And, well, I have a bit of empathy in my heart for everybody, but sharing that dream with you opened up a new perspective. And I felt your rage and your sadness and your need for revenge. And I just want you to know that you will always have my swords as long as you want them, Ellie.
Charlotte, are you alright?
I'm okay. It's a little bit scary, I won't lie.
Hell is quite scary. It's not for the faint of heart.
No, it's a learning curve, but I need to grow stronger and more confident myself. So take it as a lesson. This has been quite the field trip.
It has. Also, you are very strong, Charlotte. Compassion is also strength.
Thank you. I definitely don't have your physical strength, but I feel like I've got good conviction. So, yes. This may be a little bit much, but I feel like I've just connected with you in a certain way through that shared dream, and I want you to know that I'm serious. So I just want you to know that At this point, she will kind of fall into a like a noble royal decree as she goes down onto one knee, and she says, the moment I became a blade singer, I took an oath only to invoke that sacred magic and use it for harm when the realm and its people needed protection. And that protection extends to you. And she takes the blade from a crossed scabbard on her back, and she ever so delicately puts across her palm.
Chad.
It's okay. I want this. Take my hand in blood and let it signify my sworn promise to you, Eileithyia Celir-Ashgrove. One that creates a bond between two friends looking for family. I see your path and I want to walk beside you. She'll just kind of look up at you with the hand kind of just at this point slowly dripping with blood.
The shadows, and she'll take your hand. And she'll also, as she's touching you, she'll heal you with her lay on hands.
Oh,
A-
that's... Oh, go on.
You touch her hand. You feel the blood is a stark contrast of heat against the cool surface temperature of Charlotte's hand. And you feel spark. Kind of a tingling sensation. And it travels up your arm quickly, about to the elbow before it dissipates. But you start to feel this sense of dread. You're getting pangs of emotion that you experienced when you made the bargain with the Cambion. You're feeling very similar energy. And something that you're not accustomed to feeling, fear. But not for you, for Charlotte. And I think that's where we're going to leave this.